Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
You'll see if you're watching on channel 15 in Southwick or Westfield, you'll see down at the bottom where it says it's just Bob. Well, just before we're going on, I'm looking and it's got a swear there, a real swear, and don't
call attention to it.
And I'm going.
You really can't see it, Bob, on our screen.
Oh, you can't.
You're very small. Yeah, it's very small text.
Now everyone's running over to their televisions and they're trying to adjust their television to see exactly what it says.
Oh, gosh. Well, Peter changed it, thank God. I looked all over on the machine here where to do that. I'm not exactly sure where to do that.
Try putting a black piece of electrical tape over it.
Yeah.
That actually that was an old.
I think I got that here someplace.
Yeah,
maybe I have some duck. Yeah,
that was an old fix for the VCR flashing clock. We didn't know how to change it, so we just put a piece of black tape over it.
Oh my God! Speaking of flashing clocks, James and I went out for a ride a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days. I don't know when it was. And we came home, and all of our clocks were flashing. And there had been a storm. You'll hear about the second half of it. The power had gone off. So he changed all the clocks, and they're all now 8 minutes ahead. No, behind.
I was going to say, you'll never be late if you're 8 minutes ahead.
Yeah, no, 8 minutes ahead. No,
he'll
behind.
Still be late. It doesn't matter what the clock says. Bob will be late.
I was lying there, and suddenly the thing goes off. Thank God I put an alarm on. Otherwise, you would have been scrambling, calling me, or maybe just ignoring the fact that I overslept. And the two of you take it over, kidnapped the show.
We would never do that, Bob.
Would you kidnap the show?
We just do Jay's show on a Tuesday.
Okay.
See, we always have my theme queued up just in case.
Oh, fabulous. Look at this. This is my little clock here. It makes me look luminous underneath here. Double chin. Yeah. Hey, everybody, if you're streaming, you can stream on WSKB.com. No, .org.
I actually don't know if that's working anymore because I don't have any way to fix it. So I don't even know if that's working. The best way to go is westfieldtv.org.
westfieldtv.org, and we're
Yes.
archived if you have to go off and you don't want to miss a minute of this exciting broadcast. You can YouTube us and YouTube WSKB Community Radio while it's
Correct.
Tuesday, and you'll see us. You put the date in and you get the exact show.
Jay, what are you doing out there? Wait a minute, hold on.
What?
What are you doing out there?
I'm trying to be unobtrusive, but since you're calling attention to it, like
Yes.
we were calling attention to Bob's, never mind. So
You're having headphone issues?
well, yeah, it's the headphones are turned up much more than they usually are, even when I turn them up. And I'm getting a crackling, yet I can barely hear them in the headphones. So I'm doing a little bit of troubleshooting.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Please
something's
stand
not
by.
plugged in all the way. I know that when we redid this, there might be I might not have plugged in the right place. I don't know.
Oh.
He's troubleshooting.
Now, you always have to make sure where you plug things in. You've got
Right,
to
no, I
plug
know, I understand
in
that.
the right place.
I
Why
get
am I
that.
going to be really sorry I went there?
No. Hey, how was your 4th of July's, you guys? What did you
we
do,
were here on
Peter?
Friday on the
You were here. Oh
legal
my God!
holiday.
Yeah, you
we were
didn't.
here.
You had some kind of big thing going on, and of course I didn't make it.
It was a big brouhaha with Corey and the Knightsmen.
Yes.
And we'll actually, you'll be airing this at some point.
Oh no, we aired it. We aired it. We bumped the regular schedule.
In the
And it aired
Studio
us-
120 series.
Correct. We aired a Studio 120 sessions Saturday and Sunday night. So that's this week's Studio 120 sessions.
Excellent. Well,
We
so
made
tell-
a programming
tell them,
change.
Tell them what they'll be listening to.
Well, this week was Corey and the Knightsmen, and the Knightsmen band is what we did, and so we did it. We taped it. We taped it live Friday night.
Right.
Did the usual interview, and then we just kind of changed it up a little bit, the format. Usually I pull parts out of the interview to kind of intersperse in between the songs.
Oh, sure.
But this
sure.
time we just went with a song set and then an interview and then a song set. So we kind of did it that way this time around.
And that was broadcast while we were watching the fireworks, or
That was
no, there weren't
broadcast.
any.
So the format was exactly like a normal fireworks
Yeah.
in Westfield. So Corey and the Knightsmen play their tunes, and then they go to the fireworks when they're done.
And we even waited until it was dark enough so that when you played the fireworks, everyone could see them. So thank you.
Yes, we played back
But
the
the
three.
fireworks weren't live.
No,
we
we-
didn't have real fireworks in town.
No, but we played back the 350 fireworks from last year.
Ah, yes.
So that was the secret. It really didn't have to be that dark.
Oh, okay. But this is sort of like the Macy's Day Parade when a balloon goes down and they show the float from years back, so that they just clip it in there. This is exactly what you guys did.
Well, we wanted to do something because we knew there wasn't going to be any fireworks this year, so we decided to do something that was very similar and almost traditional.
Did anyone?
I love it.
Did anyone do fireworks around here?
No, I think everybody.
Oh,
gets it.
no. There were so many illegal fireworks going on around our house.
You didn't need to.
Oh my God. And the dog is going nuts. He even followed me in. While it was happening, I had to use the bathroom. And he never goes into the bathroom with me. And all of a sudden, at my feet is the dog in the bathroom. Unbelievable. Just
dogs.
unbelievable.
Except there's one dog that I knew that used to love fireworks. If you lit a firecracker and tossed it, this dog would go running after it, and you had to chase him away from it so he wouldn't get his nose blown off. This was a nutso dog.
Oh, yeah. We were at the fireworks in Central Park one New Year's Eve where they do fireworks. And all of a sudden the fireworks started and this dog goes zooming by us. I mean, a really lovely little dog goes zooming by us, followed by his owner, zooming by, trying to find the dog. He probably never found the dog because this dog was going like a bat out of hell toward 6th Avenue, right into the traffic. And I thought, oh my God, I don't think you bring your dog to the fireworks.
No, don't bring your dog to the fireworks.
No. Why do they want to be near? Is it inbred in them? I mean, I didn't grow up with them in the forest.
Do they want to be near
as a
it,
wolf.
or are they afraid of it? I don't know. Sometimes your critters are afraid of the thunder. Any kind of loud noise like that.
But why do they go to a human being to solve the problem?
Well, more of a mystery is why would they go to Bob?
Me.
Yeah. So,
Really?
so
Because I'm just
you,
as
you
bad.
beat
I mean,
me.
I'm
You beat me
freaking
to
out
that one,
myself.
Bob. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you have a cookout of any type, Jay?
Actually,
We did
Peter,
here.
Peter did here. Yeah,
Oh.
it was really nice. Everybody brought a little bit of food, and everybody munched out, so it was nice.
It was out in the parking lot?
Well, we can't cook in here.
Oh, that's right. So you had a grill out there and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, he even
Oh,
brought a little
terrific.
tent over, so it was quite nicely done.
Peter, you do a nice job. You know that?
Well, the thing is I really, really felt strongly about if they're volunteering their time, I'd like to feed them. Give them something for volunteering their time. So, I called the butcher block and said, "Here's what I need," and they said, "Yep, we can do that."
We do
So
want
they
to
did
thank.
hot dogs and hamburgers and chicken?
Yes, hot dogs, hamburgers, and grilled chicken breast. Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And what were the sides? Potato, let
Oh,
me guess.
stop it.
Potato salad, coleslaw,
And macaroni salad.
and macaroni salad.
We went with all
and
the
then for
traditional
and then
stuff.
for dessert you had strawberry shortcake?
No, we didn't have any dessert. I didn't have
There were
time.
no desserts.
No desserts.
Marion makes the best shortcake, as it turns out. So we have been relishing our strawberry shortcake over the past couple of weeks. Go out and buy a whole bunch of fresh strawberries. And then I ran out of whipped cream. So I had to,
my God.
I had to run out and buy whipped cream.
This is when you take your sour cream out and you put sour cream on it. And that's what I do is I put sour cream.
You on your strawberry shortcake?
Well, it looks like whipped cream. And
I don't care what it looks like. There's nothing that tastes like whipped cream fresh out of a can that you squirt right into your mouth.
It's a Bob fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could do you could start with heavy cream and beat it up, right?
But that's not sour cream. Sour cream is for potatoes.
Or nachos.
Or nachos.
I love sour cream right from the spoon. When I'm cooking my scones, I use sour cream in my scones. I take it.
That's not bad for scones, though, Bob. Scones are not sweet. You don't want to put a savory on a sweet. It's just horrible.
No, it's like sweet and sour. Sweet and sour pork. You like that, don't you?
I don't want sweet and sour strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry. All right. Just in case I'm
Touche,
having
Mr. Coles.
Just in case I'm having a 4th of July get together with strawberry shortcake, I'll
bring the
remember
sour
that.
cream. Yeah, bring the sour
I'll
cream.
remember
Okay.
that. So you guys are hunkered down, okay? Anything exciting come up in your hunkering?
Well, we're running out of things to do again. So
I went to my brother's pool on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm trying
that's nice.
I'm trying to plan a little liaison to an escape.
Well, a liaison, is it romantic?
Like-
If it's a romantic one, we don't want to talk about it on the air unless it's with your wife.
Either way, I don't want to talk about it. So no, actually,
all right,
Marion
either
and I
way.
are planning a little getaway. We can't say where, mostly because we don't know where yet.
Oh, see, I'm good. I'm a good planner. I've already planned I canceled my vacation to Florida, which I wasn't happy about. But it's the right
that's
thing to do
smart.
at this point.
Yeah.
So we regrouped and we booked a week on the Cape
Wow.
Cod.
Ethel Welch said last week, Ethel DeBacher, who was on her show, said that the bookings down there are really something else. I mean, like this is the year to go down and no, they're all being taken up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, it's
there's
it's
no room at the
affordable.
inn.
It's affordable this year, so I booked a room right away in the Irish section in Yarmouth.
Yarmouth.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna go see Mayor Dan?
Yeah, I'll probably go stop and see Mayor Dan.
Yeah.
We'll hook up for a beer whilst I'm down there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I'll be down in Yarmouth for a week at the beginning of August. So that means you guys will have the week off.
When Marion and I first met, we went all the way out to Provincetown and stayed
That's
out
expensive.
there for a while. And I enjoyed that. All the little shops, the little restaurants and stuff. Now, that was 30-something years ago. But I really enjoyed that. That was one of those nice trips that just an unexpected, and I did it in the off season because I hate.
Oh yeah, you're better off going in the fall, late fall, early winter.
Fall is great because that's when all the shops want to get rid of the stuff nobody else bought all summer.
Correct.
So
yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Because this time of year, everything is top price and everything. But it's still a cool place to go, and there's something to be said for wandering all the way out to that lighthouse on the very tip, and and going, okay, yeah, I'm about as far east as actually it's not as far east as you can go because that's actually coming back west a little bit.
Where is that? Well, you said what's the farthest point east in America?
That's up in Maine.
I thought Key West was further east.
What?
I thought Key West was the easternmost
I was thinking
point.
it was P-Town.
Key West?
Well, that's the southernmost point.
No, Key West is down to Florida Keys, and it goes west off the tip of Florida.
Right, no, but I think it's the southernmost point.
So actually, I take it back. The furthest point east in the U.S. is actually, if you include Alaska, the last island on the Aleutians chain because it goes back. There's something about the international date line, and and the furthest point east is actually just off of that Aleutian Island chain, even though it's west of here.
Oh, yeah. See, we always forget Alaska. If we do the continental United States.
Okay, then it's Maine. There's a place in Maine.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking it's P-Town.
No.
Would somebody go online and check? Danny Nason, our expert checker.
Come on, Danny, quick.
Danny, quick. We get into the farthest point east in America.
Jay can do that. He's got one of them Google
island
machines
out there, someplace in the Atlantic, Hilton Head, or someplace like that.
Nope.
No,
I can say for sure no.
No, it's not. All right. Okay. Hey, I couldn't fall asleep last night. You know what I spent time doing? I was Christian Holman had said to me. He's our musical director from Wisconsin, and he said, Bob, I don't know how you pick songs every week, et cetera, et cetera. And then he asked me how many shows we had done. And I'm lying in bed and I'm trying to figure out how many shows versus how many songs. So Peter, we are in our 6th year of broadcasting.
Yes.
Coming up?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Actually, we're already past it. Well, you guys started the middle of July, I think.
Yeah.
Dan started in June. I started in June.
Like next week or something, yes.
Yeah.
So the 6th of July, so 6 years ago, and so that would be maybe 50 programs a year if we count the vacations, maybe 48 programs. 6 times. We're more than 2,500 programs? Could that be right?
Our research department is weighing in. It says West Quoddy Head, Maine is the easternmost point in the United States.
It's in Lubbock, Maine. And actually, there's a little island just offshore called Sail Rock, which it's actually occasionally underwater, but that's actually a little bit east of the lighthouse at West
So what's
Quoddy
the name
Head.
of the thing? What's the name of
West Quoddy Head.
Yeah, in Lubbock.
Quoddy Head, Quoddy Head, Maine.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's it.
Now,
All right.
now if you really want to, I had mentioned Alaska earlier. Actually, it gets more complicated than that because Alaska can be considered the farthest both east and west, and it's the furthest north.
So east, west, and north.
Yes.
1 point.
So congratulations to Alaska. It can be three places
award.
at once.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about an overachiever.
Hawaii is the furthest south.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, really? No, that's interesting because I would have thought that was the furthest west. But no,
Alaska is
really,
actually further west. Yeah, the Aleutians are further west than the Aleutians are closest to Japan, which, if you go back to World War II, that's where Japan actually invaded the U.S. in World War II. Is on the Aleutian Islands. Like, I don't know why they'd want the island, but okay, you can have it. Yeah. We had to beat them off the island.
It was a beginning point. It was the beginning. They could march west, go by Sarah Palin's house. And, that's what happens. Hey, so listen, we've been doing this banter for 6 years, and if we do 6 times 50, that's 300 programs, right?
Roughly.
And I do maybe 8 songs per program, or plan 8 songs. We don't always do 8 songs. So 8 times 300 is 2,500 songs. Can you imagine?
20.
Somewhere around 2,400.
Yeah,
Or
24,
maybe
yeah.
2,000 songs. Can you
A
imagine
whole
making
bunch.
a list of 2,000 songs?
Well, you just make it up as you go, Bob. It's
That's what he normally does.
Yeah. It's
No, I take real seriously what songs I need to tell a story or something, or have it connect to
you make
what
that
we're
up
talking
as you
about.
go too.
Huh?
You're very good at that, Bob. You're very good at just telling stories.
I am telling, yeah. I am very good at telling stories. I wish I could stop telling stories to myself. That's why I'm not sleeping. That is not why, I'm lying there.
Wait. You're keeping yourself awake while you tell stories in your sleep? I'm not sure I understand how that works.
No, I'm not asleep.
Well, then how are you telling yourself?
I'm lying in that state. Yeah, bedtime story.
What state?
And
The
I'm
state of
going,
Alaska?
okay, where did I go there? What did I do here? Oh, what did that look like? Last night, I was picturing, Peter, you won't believe this, but I was picturing Ryan Seacrest's grill on July 4th. The show that on the show this week, and I've had all this food, 2 Rancinos, fish, or hamburgers, avocado. I was thinking of it because I was trying to think if he was living with a new girlfriend. He said goodbye to Shayna Taylor. All right, his longtime girlfriend. They were together on and off for about 8 times or so. So, and at the beginning of the epidemic, they were living together, and she was doing little segments. And I knew something was happening while I was watching Kelly and Ryan. And then I suddenly see the news last week that they've totally broken up, that he was seen with a new person in Cabo San Lucas. Okay. So then so about 4:00 last night in the morning, maybe 3, I was going on and I was picturing the grill, and I was trying to see if there was some way that I could detect by what was on the grill, how many people were at the function, and if indeed he had a partner. You know how you have 2 of everything? Well, I figured that he had 2 guests, and his girlfriend and himself, his new girlfriend, ever she is. And they had 2 kids. There was enough food for 6 people. And 2 of them were kids, because I heard them in the tape screaming or whatever. So that's what I was doing at 3:00 last night, trying to figure that out.
So
And
if
I
you were
didn't-
wondering why the theme from Seinfeld was playing at the beginning of that was the big long story about nothing.
Oh, you're right. It's exactly right.
Were you
You're
going to play a
exactly right.
song, Bob?
Yeah, I'm going to play a song. I'm going to play a song without a story, other than the fact that I just get a kick out of you guys. I got to play Frank Sinatra, a new version, an old version. Everybody thinks of Nelson Riddle's version of this. I get a kick out of you. But this is Neil Hefti. This is the Swinging Brass in Sinatra album. Neil Hefti's Cole Porter song, I get a kick out of you. I love Frank Sinatra. Bring him back, will you?
I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol, it doesn't move me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? Some like the bop type refrain. I'm sure that if I heard even one riff, 'twould bore me terrifically too. Yet I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick in a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. Yet I get a kick out of you. Get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously do not adore me. I get no kick in a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. This is the Westfield and Weekend Show. And if you want to find out what's happening at Westfield and Weekends, we're actually sponsoring with the Boys and Girls Club the drive-in movie, which happens July 18th in our town. And we're planning, we had a great meeting this week. We're planning Pumpkin Fest Reimagined. It's not Pumpkin Fest as in the past where we had thousands of people, but we have some great things lined up for that, and we're thinking forward until even December Fest as well, and how we can incorporate the idea of being safe during the pandemic with our holiday events.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
We thank Heidi Whalen, who is our fantastic Facebook operator and social media guru. And so you can go on westfieldandweekends.com. Hey, I wanted to, I got this postcard in the mail. Did you get this postcard in the mail? How do I do this? Right like this. Here. Okay.
You hold it up to the camera, yes.
There. Is that good?
Well, it's too close, but okay.
From the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
I got this from the Boys and Girls Club. They spent some money on this. It's really lovely. But listen to this. All young people ages 1 to 18 can visit any of the locations on the front of this card to receive free grab-and-go meals. Yeah. Each meal bag contains 2 meals, 1 lunch, and 1 breakfast for the next day. No eligibility requirements. You do not need to show proof of residency or income. Please wear your mask and practice social distancing. This is the Boys and Girls Club's just wonderful project, and there are all of these locations.
They've gotten grants for this for several years now, Bob.
Well, yeah, but they've expanded it throughout the city. Had they done that before?
Yes. Yep. We
They-
promoted it
oh,
last year. I gave you
oh,
that card
really? Had
last
no
year, Bob.
idea.
But
It's
this
Monday
is one
through
of the
Friday, and it's 11 to 1. No, it's 11 a.m. to 1.
Different times at
o'clock, I
each
think.
park. Just look on the Boys and Girls Club website or their Facebook page for times at your location.
yeah,
Right, and there are
that's the
all
best
kinds
thing.
of, from the Boys and Girls Club to the middle school, Chapman Playground, Sadie Knox Spray Park, Colonial Pine Acres, Powder Mill Village, Edgewood Apartments, and the Hubbard Street Spray Park are the way you can get your meals.
Yeah,
How
more
wonderful is
information,
that?
of course, is at the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield website. You mentioned the drive-in movie. That's a week from this Saturday. And then we've also just announced that drive-in concert that I've been hinting at and hoping for, we're actually putting together a concert. It's going to be a band called Kashmir, which is a Led Zeppelin tribute band these guys are phenomenal.
I'm in.
They're
Wow.
absolutely phenomenal. That's going to happen the end of August. So stay tuned for more on that.
Great.
If you go
Is
to
Gaslight
Purple
Entertainment involved?
we're going to try and help them out just a little bit.
The
But
Boys
this
and
is
Girls
all
Club
a
as
benefit. Yeah, this is a benefit for the Boys and Girls Club. All of these things are helping them raise a few extra dollars for. They're investing. Granted, they get grants. Granted, they get grants. Well,
Right. Well, that's good. Granted, they get grants,
but it's still everything that they're having to do in order to prep for the to stay safe for the COVID-19 when the kids return to the Boys and Girls Club. That's been an expensive proposition. So we're very pleased to be able to help them out with that a lot. Thanks to my friend Paul Lococo, who's a promoter that I've worked with for over 10 years. He's the fellow that I work with for the high school shows. We've brought Beatlemania and Tusk and others to Westfield here, and all over southern New England we've worked together. So
wow.
he's
Is Paul
helping
from
us with
Wilbraham
this.
by chance?
No, he's actually he grew up in Northampton and now lives on the
Really?
shore of Connecticut. He lives down near Mystic, Connecticut.
I wonder if he's related to my friend Gus Lococo, who's married to Margaret Lococo, who is the cousin of John Bonavita.
There's a lot of Lococos around. Yeah.
There's a lot of Lococos, yeah. At any rate, hey, we are celebrating today. There's the birthday of Ringo Starr. Guess how old he is?
I don't know.
80 years old.
80. Wow.
80 years old.
I was trying to
today.
do some quick math, figuring he was about 20 and 64, but yeah, it's still.
It's mind blowing when you think about it, right?
And
We never thought that those long-haired, shaggy guys were going to grow up to be 80-year-old men. Unbelievable. And guess who? Okay, do you know who this is, Peter? This is a good question for you.
Okay.
Here is this guy, Doc Severinsen.
Yes. The Tonight Show band leader.
yes, hey, very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
His birthday is today, and he is 93 years old. Unbelievable.
Oh, I believe
I
that.
enjoyed seeing him. He was known for his flashy outfits on Johnny Carson.
Oh, and his trumpet.
And the
he
trumpet
could
player,
hit those notes.
Oh, he was
Unbelievable.
an amazing trumpet player.
Yeah. The
Not-
other thing
not-
that
no, no, before we move on, not as good as our very own Patrick Kennedy from the Westfield High School band.
Pat plays the trumpet.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, of course he does.
You don't remember from still kicking the big city horns?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, I love Pat. Pat has been around for us for so long. He has done all of our events, and he's just a great guy. I've forgotten what instrument he plays. I mean, I think if you can play if you can play the trumpet, can you play the trombone and the clarinet, because they're all wind instruments?
I don't know that you can do it well. There are some people that I've seen just pick up an instrument and play, and those people are amazing to me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how they do it, because just blowing up a balloon to try to make a balloon,
it's not the same thing, Bob. No,
your head swells inside. Honest to God, I don't know.
That just
I
means you
would not
blew it
be
up and then you're breathing the wrong way. It just comes back in.
That's why my parents chose the accordion for us.
Okay.
And That was a
box,
wrong
yeah.
choice.
No.
That was a real wrong choice.
Hey,
But,
did I hear that Carl Reiner passed away this week?
Yes.
And
he's on my
Charlie
list here.
Daniels passed away like yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday at 83. Carl died at 93 years of age. And Hugh Downs. Now, that's another person that. Who is Hugh Downs? Do you have any idea, Peter?
The original anchor of 2020.
Even more than that.
Well,
what other show was he involved
with? He was an announcer on voice and television. Everyone knows.
He was the sidekick of Jack Parr at night.
Before Johnny Carson.
Before Johnny. He was the Ed McMahon. And also, he was the Concentration. Do you remember the quiz show Concentration?
I was going to say I couldn't remember the game, but he was a game show host. Mm-hmm. He was the original Concentration guy that gave way to George Garagiola. And yes, you're right. He was on the Today program.
Today program. And then later on, he had a program with Mary Martin for seniors. And he wrote some books on that. Just a Renaissance man, a really wonderful man whose voice you'll never forget. I mean, that great voice. And guess who else is who died yesterday? I think he was also 91 or 93. Ennio Morricone. Peter, you have any idea who that is?
Yep.
Listen, Bob.
He's got it.
Look, he's right on the money. Oh, my gosh. Who would have thought that this wonderful Italian composer would write the theme for a Western that was filmed in Italy?
Not only that, but he had done TV shows and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he was. But back in that time frame, which was what, 70s, early 70s, I think, the days of the spaghetti westerns, and they called them that because they were filmed mostly around Italy and with Italian directors. But Clint Eastwood was in most of those, if not all of them, what they classify as the spaghetti
really
westerns.
Smart because he came off of television. And back then, you couldn't go from television to motion pictures and become a big star for the most part. He was one of the first. And he decided he was giving up his show on TV. You know what show that was, boys?
I want to say
it was a Western.
Was it Gunsmoke? I want to say Gunsmoke.
No, that was James Arness.
Ah, okay.
I can't remember that one.
All right. This is Rawhide.
Rawhide. Son of a gun. Okay.
He played Rowdy Yates on Rawhide.
Yep.
Okay. So he then has the brainy idea to go to Italy to become a famous movie star. And actually, his westerns in Italy were indeed responsible for making him famous. How do you like that?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. So
it's just a great song. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
All of his themes are Cinema Paradiso, The Mission. The music from The Mission is incredible. And he also was a classical composer. And if you go on, they play his music on WFCR, a classical music station. So, no small peanuts. And he lived a wonderful life. So we are mourning those guys' death as well. So, and at any rate, what time is it? Let me just check the clock.
Hold on, Big Finish.
I love the.
I actually saw there's a video out on YouTube if you look at it for this song. If you Google it, the Danish National Symphony did this song. And it is eerie how good it is. Just with the whole symphony and they had a singer singing some of the parts and a soprano singing and then a men's choir singing the other parts. And it's an awesome video. It's just really cool.
Wild. Hey, everybody, guess who's coming on in the second part of this show? The James Quinn from Connecticut. James Francis Quinn, my college.
Are we sure we're ready for another dose of Jim?
Oh yeah.
Jim Quinn.
We're starting where we left off the last show.
Okay.
And so it's going to involve a cocktail or two. All right. And wait till at any rate. We planned it out and everything.
So Jay, we can go out for breakfast right at 7:00.
Actually,
Bob won't have to take any breaks. We'll just go.
Just so you know, Bob, it's not that I always disappear, but I've got to head off to into the wild land. I call
Notice
my
he's
real
wearing
job.
a good shirt today. That means he's got to go somewhere to a customer.
Yes, I'm off to the far off land of work. But
When is
yeah.
that? When are you leaving?
A little after 7. A little after 7, so I'll be able to say hello to Jim.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, he'll love to see you. He enjoys, you know what he likes about you?
Who?
Jim has told me this off camera.
Okay.
Yeah. He likes that both of you laugh at his jokes.
Because he's funny, that's
There
why.
you are. There you are. That's exactly what anybody who wants people to laugh does. You know, everybody needs a good laugher to have with you all day long.
Okay, so I'm the Ed McMahon of this show. Okay, I'll take that. All right.
You are the best. But Peter's left. Oh no, he's there. We're gonna play a song. Hey, this is from the wonderful man named Christian Holman in Wisconsin, who has my music director, and he has sent us this week a Tracy Chapman song that was sung at the Bob Dylan 30th anniversary back in 1993. I don't know what they were, 30 years. Oh, maybe it was the first Bob Dylan album. And this is from that album. I think it's appropriate, of course, for today. The times they are changing. And Tracy Chapman, we often forget her. She's great. So, and as we sit here, hunkered down for the umpteenth day, let's hear times they are changing.
Gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times, they are changing. Writers and critics, you prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. And the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are changing. Senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorways, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times, they are changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out on the new one if you can lend your hand. For the times, they are changing. It is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be past, as the present now will later be past. Your old road is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last. For the times, they are changing.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. It is July 7th, 2020 and counting. I was listening to Tracy Chapman and I was thinking, wow, we got to continue to mention the fact that there is a movement across America that is, it's a movement, not a moment. And the movement is relating to Black lives and brown lives and yellow lives. Asian lives. That is the worst possible thing that I could ever say. Honest to God, that just shows that we grow up with this notion or this thing. Please forgive me, everyone. That was really totally.
Can't we just say all lives matter and be done with it?
Pardon?
Can't we just say all lives matter and be done with it?
No, apparently that's racist.
In particular, we really have to say Black Lives Matter and Brown Lives Matter because of things that have been happening for years and years in America. And I want to recommend everybody to watch a film on PBS called The Birth of a Movement. And it's about that movie, The Birth of a Nation. Do you remember The Birth of a Nation? It was produced by D.W. Griffith. And it is considered one of the classics of the modern cinema. He is the father of the modern cinema, but also he could be viewed as the father of the racist cinema, believe it or not, because it is the story, Birth of a Nation is based on a novel called The Klansman. And The Klansman is about the birth of the Ku Klux Klan and how the Ku Klux Klan, quote unquote, saved America. And in that movie, there are so many stereotypes. And yet this guy, D.W. Griffith, was really, really an innovator. And so there is the great quality of the film and the subject of the film. And very interestingly, The Birth of a Nation was really in its day, there were some folks who wanted it taken off the boards. Of course, Woodrow Wilson, our great president, who was one of the greatest segregationists of all time, he showed it in the White House. And really, it was saying some stuff to America when suddenly, Birth of a Nation is being shown in the White House. It must be a wonderful film. It is technically, but not in subject matter. So there were these two.
Bob, wait a minute, hold on.
Yes.
Why are we trying to apply the norms of today, which are progressed from them, to the time back then?
No.
Why can't we just accept that as history?
No,
because that was acceptable practice at the time.
I'm not saying that it wasn't acceptable practice.
It's wrong by today's standards,
it is
Bob.
Not acceptable practice today.
Right, and I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay.
But people want to ban all those things and never to be seen again because of that.
No, I'm not saying that. You don't let me finish. Let me finish.
But a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
Well, Peter, let's not go with the Fox narrative.
No. I'm just saying what I've seen on
Here we go.
MSNBC, Bob. People are claiming all these things should be banned because they're trying to say at the time that they were made, they shouldn't have been made based upon today's standards and they should be banned. That's the only thing I don't think is right. I agree with you on everything.
Okay, gotcha.
Up until the ban part.
So if we agree, then fine.
Yeah.
But I just need you to know that when I talk about the past, it's important to know the past.
Yeah.
So, and it's important to recognize when we are making mistakes, like I did earlier with that yellow line. Honest to God, I'll never live that down in my own conscience.
You see, here's the thing about people that are on that side of the fence. You made the mistake. You owned the mistake. Now you should move on. Don't have the guilt of the mistake.
Oh, I'm not going to have the guilt, but
Well, you just said you would. You never live it down.
I'm angry at myself.
That's okay. You need to move on, Bob. Anger is not a good thing.
No, anger put into action is a good thing. And so anger makes me act in a way that I need to act. So that's the good part about anger. So anyway, let me tell you the story about this. There's this black guy in Boston. His name is William Monroe Trotter, who works with W.E.B. Du Bois, and they found the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People because of their their feelings that Birth of a Nation was totally wrong. It's a totally wonderful story. It could make a great musical. It has Hollywood in it. It has W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the greatest black writers and thinkers in America at the time. It also has D.W. Griffith and Hollywood. Just incredible. It's a really wonderful movie, and you should see it, Birth of a Movement, because it will sort of begin to sort of say for you how we get indoctrinated. And I was looking at the New York Times bestseller list this week, and I think America is getting it, because look at this. How to Be an Anti-Racist is number 1. White Fragility is number 2. So you want to talk about race is number 3. The Color of Law is number 5. And it goes on. Why are all black kids sitting back together in the cafeteria is number 7. Incredible. So I think we're getting it. And I think we can't be afraid. And I decided I'm going to have this movement. My movement is putting a flag up on my my flagpole that says something. And so I decided to put a Together We Rise flag on my flagpole on West Silver Street. So I just ordered it yesterday. So maybe everybody, if you want to just say something so that this movement cannot just be a moment, maybe consider putting a little flag up that says something important, like love is love, kindness is kindness, and all lives matter, especially black and brown lives at this point. All right? How's that for a rant?
Good one for now.
Is he back so I can play my next song?
No.
Has he left forever?
I think you made him leave. But he'll be back eventually.
All right. Okay. All right. Please. Jay, you get awfully quiet when we have these conversations, because I know you like to entertain, and you're a great entertainer. So please forgive me when I go off the rails like that. But I just had to.
It's nice that we can have such variety on this program.
Well, I appreciate that. But you got to see that Birth of a Movement on PBS. Peter, because of all the stuff happening this weekend all over the place, especially in Washington, I decided to play a Barbra Streisand disco number. So if you would you play that for us now, and then maybe we can bring Jim Quinn in.
Sounds good to me.
All righty.
Just look him in the eye and simply shout.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
One of our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It's July 7th, 2020 and counting, 2020 and counting. And in the bottom square, if you're watching on Channel 15 in Southwick or you're tuning in on YouTube later on in the day, there he is, the man who puts the vivant in bon vivant. Jay, look, he is in, looks like a forest with beautiful lighting, of the filtered lighting of Lucille Ball.
What?
Filtered lighting of Brigadoon, the friggin' mists of Avalon. That's where I am. Bob.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. It's Tuesday.
Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning.
Jay, good morning. Peter, good morning.
Actually, I do like that background. It's quite soothing this morning.
Grapevines.
Okay, grapevines.
There? Are there
So,
grapevines
I'm on the porch today. I'm on the porch.
All right.
Oh,
Did you say they are grapevines?
Yes.
I have fond memories as a kid going to my grandfather's. His patio was covered with grapevines, and that was the shade for the patio, but it was also the grapes for his wine. Are you a winemaker?
Are you a winemaker, Jim?
No, I am a wine drinker. I am a wino. But this is merely for effect. The grapes, it comes up every year, it climbs up, and it gives wonderful shade, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what my grandfathers did too. So that's nice.
But is it attached to the house, to the cottage? Is the grapevine
That's what vines do. They attach.
They cling.
They cling. Yeah.
Cling like that boyfriend I got rid of in 1952.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Screens keep them away there.
I see. Hey, how are you down there in Kent, Connecticut?
How are we down here in Kent? Well, let's start out by we're freaking lucky. Look at this. I mean, it's a pastoral, bucolic nightmare here. We may, if we're lucky this morning, meet Mama Bear. I think I sent you a photo. She ambles by.
The bear is still there?
Yeah, a bear. 2 cubs. We have jumping toads that jump up and crash onto the screens. What can I say? It's a wonderland.
Have you named your 3 bears? Have you named your 3 bears?
No. I got to turn you up again a bit, Jay. I have not, but the what do I call her? The woman that runs the post office down the hill here.
Yeah.
The
postmaster. Yeah.
She calls him or her Boo, I think. I'm not
Boo?
sure
Boo
how to
Boo?
go along with this.
Is it Boo Boo the bear?
Yeah.
Hey, Yogi.
Yeah.
Okay, Boo Boo.
Volume up here.
Yeah.
So volume. All righty, here we go.
There you are.
Well, that's okay. Don't turn it up on account of me. I'm afraid in just a few minutes I must bid you all adieu as I head off to a far-off land called work. And some of us still have to work for a living.
Hey, Jim, you know that he is going to work because he's got a nice shirt on, you see. That's how you tell.
You in your pink nightshirt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. You're leaving.
I am. Yes,
He's not wearing a T-shirt today. That's why I knew he was.
Yes,
he was going to be departing early.
I have to wander off into the eastern part of Massachusetts.
All right.
So
You're going to wear your mask. Do you wear your mask when you go into the eastern part of the state?
yeah, I actually have my dress mask. Yes. Not
You
my
have a dress
bandana.
mask.
Do you have a
I
Xerox? Do you have a Xerox issued mask?
I have a dress mask. Yes, I actually have Xerox issued ones. Yes, but yeah,
Unbelievable.
We have to pass them. I've got a whole box full of them. I am the official PPE distributor for the state of Massachusetts.
You know what we did the other day? Jim Quinn and I and James and Michael went and met in Great Barrington at the Aegean Breeze, a restaurant in
out at a restaurant.
Imagine that.
It was beyond belief. I mean, like, I felt like I was being freed from prison or something. I mean, that high, I was so high, and it wasn't the 2 bottles of wine that we had. It was just plain old feeling good that I was with some people who I enjoyed, and we were safe, I think. Were we safe?
Speaking of Great Barrington, did you notice that the Barrington Stage Company is going to be opening?
Really?
Yes, they've kind of revamped, taken out every other row of seats, and they're revamping the shows they're going to put on just to have a few people on stage. But they are going to be running shows again.
So they might be the only company in the Berkshires that are going to run.
It could be, yeah. So
at least this summer.
People are getting in the theater industry. People are getting as creative as possible. It's going to be a challenge financially, but everybody's giving it their best shot.
That's good news.
Yeah. It is.
I hadn't heard that. It's wonderful.
We might be able to go up there, Jay. Jim and I, and you guys will probably be going because Mark Auerbach on our program interviews all those big shots up there.
Actually, if Barrington Stage is open, I got to call Mark. We might want to take a run out there and do a show out there.
They've been getting some great press in the industry, and actually, they were a small segment on. It wasn't this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, they had a small segment on Sunday morning.
Oh,
so
CBS
nice.
Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Well, Jim and I had a lovely lunch up there. Jim, you were really safe. You had masks. You had things to keep your hands from touching things.
That's called a straitjacket. And some mornings it's just not worth it to gnaw through the leather straps. Is the way I feel. So I often go out to dinner. Someone has to feed me with a spoon. Thank you for doing that. But you looked extraordinarily sharp in your starburst mask.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I have a starburst mask. Peter, say goodbye to Jay for us. He just left.
Yep. See you, Jay.
Yeah.
Bye, Jay.
So we did you feel safe? And because you're going to New York City today, aren't you?
Yes. We're going to go down as soon as we finish here. We'll drive in early and deal with the mail and the apartment stuff and get somebody in to do some work for us. And I think we are going to connect with Tom and Liz, friends for 40 years.
Wow. But you're going to do it indoors. You're not going to an outdoor restaurant yet in New York City.
No. We're good cooks. I'm a good bartender. We'll do it indoors.
Oh God, I'm telling you, you haven't lived. Actually, I gotta send Peter this recipe. You gave me a canister. Would you call it a canister? A bottle? What do you call that thing? A jar.
Yeah, it was an old Planters Peanuts plastic bottle.
I love the bottle.
Down here.
Carrot soup, Peter. Have
Is
you
that
ever had
sweet or savory?
sweet or savory?
And a little cayenne pepper. So it's
So
savory,
savory, okay.
but it's carrot apricot soup. It's a spring and summer kind of soup. It's got lemon and orange juice in it, cayenne, and a lot of salt and pepper. So it's got a kick, but it's really fresh and it's great to eat cold, right, Bob?
My God, it was so. I wanted
Sounds
to.
good.
I mean, it was like one of those. Have you ever had a soup, a cold soup that feels sort of like you're drinking lemonade or something? I just wanted it to continue. It was so good. And what I found that it was really particularly wonderful was this idea that there were apricots in it, apricots and carrots, all pureed together.
Carrots are sweet, so apricots would balance that off with a little bit of tart.
Exactly. And then the lemon juice and the orange juice gives a little bit. I mean, just like a quarter a cup.
I think lemon juice and orange juice will prevent discoloring and keep it that carroty color.
Amen. Yep, exactly. And it's bright. It's pretty to look at, isn't it, Bob?
It's pretty to look at it, but it's prettier to drink.
See, Bob,
Oh
I'm
my
a
God.
foodie. So I watch way too much Food Network. I've turned off the news and I've embraced the Food Network for what it is. Just fun.
And then do you get up, Peter, and
Oh yeah,
something in the kitchen?
yes, absolutely. I was cooking for the masses here on Friday. We had we did our version of Independence Day. So we had the local band that always plays our Independence Day, and then we reran fireworks from last year on video. So we did all this live, and I just said, well, since you guys are coming in for free, we're going to cook for you. So we borrowed a grill from the Boys and Girls Club, and I cooked 10 pounds of chicken.
Wow.
Wow.
And hot dogs and hamburgers, and simple marinade for chicken is very simple. If you ever guys want to ever marinate chicken for the grill,
What do you marinate it?
24 hours before, just take a couple of jars of Italian dressing, just regular Italian dressing. Dump them in there, let them sit and get all happy for about 24 hours, and the best chicken you've ever had.
And I'll exchange that suggestion, Peter, with my favorite marinade these days, which is, citrus and something savory. It's fish sauce, like Thai fish sauce.
Sure.
And lime juice. Just about
Thai
a cup of
fish.
each. Let them sit. Yeah, like you would use in Chinese cooking or Thai cooking.
Fish sauce has a good flavor for a lot of things. Yeah.
Where do you?
It's not as salty as teriyaki.
Right? Not quite as salty.
So the word fish sauce. Where do you buy fish sauce in the store?
In the Chinese food department. In
the international section, or if you luckily have an Asian grocery somewhere around, you're more than. We had a Korean grocery here for a while.
Sauce, right? You bought soy sauce.
Yeah.
Soy sauce. You buy that in the store?
I buy that in the store. I didn't know there was. I didn't know that there was a sauce that was associated with fish. Let's
not get into how it's made, though. Okay.
Yeah, please, no. So fish sauce as a marinade for a meat.
Sure.
Fish sauce and lime.
Ah, okay.
Citrus and the savory.
Because the acid breaks down the protein, and the fish sauce gives it the flavor.
God, you guys are like Breaking Bad. You're like chemists.
These are basics, Bob. If we got Ken Stomsky involved in this conversation, we'd have a serious foodie thing going on.
We ought to do that sometime.
Ken makes his own pierogi.
I don't think Jim has ever made a pierogi in his life.
My sister is the expert pierogi maker.
Really?
At Christmas, Mike, her husband, Karnasevich, she married
Mike Karnasevich.
Yeah. And she took over the pierogi making for the family. We get onion pierogies. We get potato pierogies and cheese every Christmas. She just goes on and on and on and on. But, pierogies, the Italians call it ravioli. The Chinese call it wonton.
Sure,
Everybody does the same thing with dough. But
it's basically a dumpling.
There you go. Dumpling. A filled dumpling.
Yep, filled dumpling.
It's like eating dough to me. It's like eating plain dough.
No, see, you can't have it. You can't have it boiled. You have to have it pan fried in butter. That gives it texture. Otherwise, you're eating. You're right. If you just boil it, it's kind of like eating dough. But if you give it a pan fry, then you give it texture.
And put some chopped onions in the pan with the butter.
Yep.
Anything to give it a little, garlic, onion makes everything.
That's why I love summer squash, like yellow squash right now.
Yeah.
Butter in a pan. Maybe what I do is I dust it with onion powder, so it gives a little bit of a crust, gets a little bit of burnt onion, and that's how I eat summer squash. It's so good.
I'm the sous chef here. I might be the king of cocktails, but Michael is such a good cook that may I prepare for you. So I was slicing up the summer squash last night and some eggplant and a couple of Idaho potatoes that were just starting to get eyes in them. They needed to go, so I'll scrub them and slice them all on the grill.
That sounds tasty.
If you want to put a few onions in there.
The summer squash, doesn't it fall through the grate on the grill?
Nope. You cook, well,
you put down some tin foil.
Peter, you have pans for those sort of.
Yeah, or you put down tin foil if you don't have a pan. You put down tin foil.
Right.
Or a grill basket.
Yeah. See, I'm not.
Yeah.
I gave away my grill before I learned how to cook. That was my problem. If I had saved it, I would. And do I want to buy a grill now?
No.
Why not?
I just bought my darn microwave went on the blink, and so I had to buy another.
Oh my God!
Microwave.
You're really gonna have to cook now.
Huh? Yeah, really.
They'll get you out of the house, Pop.
The only thing I use a microwave for sometimes is leftovers, but usually it overcooks them, so I try not to even do it for that.
Yeah, I use it for leftovers most of the time, but I've found that I haven't missed it so much. But as a modern chef, I need a microwave, don't I?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, I've just put money down in a microwave. Of course, the
what you should have bought is a convection oven. That would have been far better than buying a microwave.
But we're not going to give you advice, Bob.
It cooks about the same speed, Bob.
Oh, all right. Okay. Hey, everybody, 7:13 in the morning. When we come back, Jim Quinn and I are going to we're going to take up where we left off, which is about some cocktails stuff and not. And guess what? I'm reading a book about Judy Garland, and apparently Judy Garland had a little affair with Marlene Dietrich, of all people in the entire. It was a tiny affair. It was maybe a 15-minute hello goodbye in Hollywood, whatever. But do you believe that? And Burt Bacharach.
Do it? Underneath the lamppost?
I have no idea. It is so interesting. I'm reading about Judy Garland. Yeah, I'm reading this great book. You might appreciate it. Called Get Happy. It's the biography by Gerald Clark of Judy Garland. Since I just finished reading that book on Harold Arlen. It sort of got me into this Wizard of Oz thing, Peter. So I thought, well, geez, I'll read the Judy Garland book and show my gay card. And so I showed the gay card and I found the Judy Garland book and I'm reading the Judy Garland book. And honest to God.
I just use a library card, Bob. I don't know about the gay card.
I know. You don't need one of those.
No, you get books with a library card or,
you're right.
Card.
Yeah, I should have. But it takes forever sometimes for me to read a book.
You show your gay card anywhere you want.
Well, I played it and I'm reading the book. It turns out that Judy Garland was married to David Rose when she was 19 years old. David Rose you'd like this, Peter. He was the guy that wrote the theme for Bonanza. Dun, 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 dun. He was married to Judy Garland when he was 31 and she was 19. And guess who he was married to beforehand? Martha Ray. Honest
Seriously?
to God. Yeah. Honest to God. And then I find out that Judy was also in love with Artie Shaw, who married Ava Gabor and had an affair with Johnny Mercer, of all people. Honest to God, this is I'm just shocked of the intersection of lives.
Did that? I am no one to judge, but the showbiz crowd, and it sounds like Judy Garland was one of those people that, a little like me, instant gratification was not fast enough.
You think? Good
Really?
Lord.
Oh, God. I haven't got to that part in the book. There,
Well, that's
the psychological
immediate
study comes later. Yeah. So at any rate, that was to be said. We're going to play Marlene Dietrich's great hit, something about boys in the back room.
See what the boys in the back room will have.
Oh, see what the
And
boys
tell
in
them
the
I'll
back
have
room.
the same.
Yeah. This was in 1943, and she must have been appearing in front of the troops, our troops, not their troops. Okay. Marlene Dietrich, Boys in the Back Room.
Marlene Dietrich.
Go see what the boys in the back room will have and tell them I'm having the same. Go see what the boys in the back room will have and give them the poison they name. And when I die, don't spend my money on flowers and my picture in a frame. Just see what the boys in the back room will have and tell them my sigh and tell them I cried and tell them I died of the same. Or giving this the GI treatment. I know what the boys in the army would have and brother wearing on that game. I know what the boys in the Navy would have and mister, that's more of the same. They ask for girls, don't think it's funny. Remember Shakespeare said, what's with a dame? Just see what the boys in the service will have and tell every man from sack to reverse that we've tried to get him the same.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is July 7th, 2020 and counting. We are here with that great wit and my college roomie, James Francis Quinn, with an emphasis on the Francis. Who was that in your life, Jim? Who were you named after? Francis.
Dad.
Your dad's name was Francis?
No, James Francis.
He was named James Francis.
Yeah,
I see.
He was, and I kept that going with my son too. It's really, really boring. You'd think I would have had more imagination back then when we were 20-something, but no, a long line of James Francis here. That Irish.
I love it. I love it.
Speaking of, you brought us to 1943. Sorry, Bob, I'm time traveling. Wow.
Go. What happened in 1943? Neither one of us were alive, thank God.
But I'm speaking of the older James Francis. Dad.
Oh, your dad, yes.
Forgiving each other. Yeah, he was coming back and forth from Italy on prisoner of war ships. And he was a military MP. He was a military police sergeant, Quinn, and he guarded prisoners of war here in New England. And do you know where we had prison camps during the war?
No.
Maine.
In Maine.
In Maine. And guess what they did?
They had lobster every night and a clam bake on the beach.
They grew potatoes.
That was their job?
Well, you have to give prisoners a job. You do. You give prisoners a job. You know, they can make license plates, or more importantly, during wartime, they grew potatoes in Maine because they didn't trust them out on a boat. They're not going to go catch, lobsters because they get away. They find a U-2 boat or a submarine and they right out of Portland Harbor or something.
Where was this, Jim? Where was this camp? What town?
Just say Maine. That's about the information I have. My dad, I know this because there's this perhaps apocryphal story about my birth.
Okay.
Dad would come down from Maine to see my mother in New Haven. They married in '44. They had a little honeymoon in NYC, and about 9 months later, Helen is waiting in the railroad station in New Haven.
Yeah.
Helen O'Callahan for Jim to come down with oranges and fruit and here something for just keep you strong. And the baby
came on the
baby,
So no, I know it. But you had Helen was at the train station. Did she get to a hospital?
Yes, we did get to both of us to New Haven Hospital. That story is completely fabricated. She was at the train station every time, to meet Dad when he'd come down on weekends. But in fact, what she was doing when I gave her the old, elbow in the belly, she was playing pinochle on Easter Sunday night with her father and her sister and brothers, and they were playing pinochle. And then
you were born during a card game? Well, that explains everything.
There you go.
Really? Just
see what
explains
the boys in the back room will have.
Yeah, really. Hey, speaking of that, where did we leave off the last time? We Peter, do you remember? We were talking about cocktails, and I said something, and then something led to that, and then it was 7 o'clock, and we didn't get to half of what we wanted to talk about.
Well, we were just about to make a cocktail, I think.
Yeah, we were just about to make a cocktail. So I think we ought to do a little review of where we were as far as cocktails. Now, you are a cocktail connoisseur. Would you say that? You're like the bartender of all time.
I make some wonderful cocktails, but that's it's just part of my sense of entertaining. I'm an entertainer, Bob, right? I'm an entertainer.
No, you are an entertainer. Yes, yeah.
And everything goes down better with booze.
This is true.
That's true. That's true. So what have you been, let's say, making? First, where do we start? We ought to talk about cocktails. Just tell me something about a cocktail.
Well, what I was thinking about saying, rather than talking about recipes for drinks and everything, to get a sense of what you're doing when you're making a cocktail, you can keep in mind really simple things like most cocktails, most concoctions contain the same 4 or 5 ingredients. And it was like Peter talking about a marinade, only these are marinades for people. You want spirits.
I love it.
You want spirits, okay, strong spirits, vodka, bourbon, brandy, whatever.
Gin.
You want something sweet, something tart, especially in summer cocktails and stuff, something bitter, and water. Water is one of the most essential ingredients in all our libations.
So, okay, so let me get this straight then. So you want a water So ice cubes are necessary.
Exactly. Ice cubes are essential. Yeah.
Okay. And something sour, like, and then a liquor.
Yeah. You want something sweet and something tart. Let's say you're making a gin cocktail and it's the bee's knees. Okay. So it's gin, 1.5 to 2 shots gin. Then you put in lemon, maybe a half a shot, maybe 3/4 a shot, and equal amounts of with the bee's knees, it's honey syrup. Okay. So that's just, honey diluted by half with water. Just like simple syrup, you got to keep simple syrup in the fridge around if you're going to make cocktails. It's just half, water and syrup, and water and
Sugar of some type.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Shake it up in a little, bottle, a little leftover plastic bottle. Put it in the refrigerator. You don't have to put anything on the stove. You've got your simple syrup. So the cocktail, you got the tart lemon juice, you got some simple syrup, or in this case, honey syrup, and there you have the bee's knees. Shake with ice. Pour in a cocktail glass.
Now there are 2 other ingredients here: the sweet, sour, water. Oh yeah, there's one more ingredient. What are we missing?
Bitters. Put a bitter in. Put some bitters in.
A bitter. Okay, so you could put in bitters, what we commonly known as bitters.
Yes, I put in orange bitters for my bee's knees. I put in grapefruit bitters for my daiquiri, and in Manhattan I use sour cherry bitters. But you can get bitters in, it's a medicinal thing. It was a medicinal thing, very low alcohol content. But
do they sell it at the Big Y? Do they sell bitters at the Big Y? Is that possible? Because it might be a cooking thing as well, like a spice.
I think, let's look next time you go in the Big
Really,
Y.
that might be a really good thing to know. Do you put bitters in your cocktails, Peter? What is your cocktail of choice?
See, I'm not a cocktail drinker. My dad brought me up on the beer side of the house, and I've never. Once in a while, I'll have a cocktail, but it's very, very rare. It's I guess you develop your taste. If you're a wine drinker, you were brought up with wine in the family. If you're a beer drinker, you're brought up with beer. And then if you're a cocktail drinker, you were brought up with his family that dealt with spirits. But once in a while, I'll have a mixed drink, but it's very, very rare that I do. I'm a beer guy.
What's the difference then?
But now there are beer cocktails too, so that's a whole different animal.
Yes.
Oh, could beer be one of those ingredients in a cocktail?
Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Oh,
yeah. There's.
Wow.
I've watched a few of those bar rescue shows where a place was known for its beer, but they also have beer cocktails to complement all the draft beer this place has on tap. So the mixologists are even doing that with beer now too.
Yeah.
And in Mexico, Bob, the michelada with the tequila in the beer and the lime juice.
Oh, mixolada?
Michelada, Michelada, michelada. It's a Mexican cocktail that's based in beer. But beer is just, you can use beer in a cocktail like you could use seltzer, ginger beer, ginger ale, all of those mixer things that you put into, say, all those things called highballs or rickies with a little fruit and a little seltzer in the end. So I've made a drink this summer, the classic cocktail, the dark and stormy.
Oh, I love dark and stormies. I actually, Gosling's, you can buy Gosling's dark and stormies. So you don't even have to make it. You just pour it out of the can.
And why would you do that?
But it's really not that hard to make one.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not hard to
I
make
know
one.
exactly right. I do make dark and stormies.
Then you have the privilege of giving the extra shot of Goslings if you want to make yours. Get it out of a can. I agree that we should probably get our ginger beer or our ginger ale out of a can, or our pomelo. What's the Italian sparkling water? Pellegrino makes some
Oh,
lovely flavors on it.
citron. I was going to say citronella. That's something else.
Yeah, but
What do they call that? It begins with a CIT. Citrano? Citron. No.
Citron. It's a French word for lemon, but my favorite is pompello. It's grapefruit. That's the Italian word for grapefruit. Pompello.
Pompello. I'd never heard of that.
Remember French? Did you take French in high school?
I did. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Of course. Well, my medication doesn't allow me to have grapefruit, so I've nixed it from my vocabulary. That's the truth.
Let's go back to the dark and stormy for just a minute.
Yeah, tell us how to make a dark and stormy. Peter would like this. I guarantee Peter would like this drink.
I'm not going to tell you how to make a dark and stormy. Didn't you say conflict made good radio?
Yes.
What I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take it for granted. People know how to make it dark and stormy, Ginger beer, dark rum, okay? Mix, serve, a little ice.
Yeah, but you want to put something like a lime in it or something else in, maybe a orange or something?
A lime, with a twist of lime, a squirt of lime. That's a dark and stormy. So once you know that, you can go on a little, tour.
Journey.
Like I did. I found this wonderful ginger beer. It's by the makers of Q Tonic. They make Q ginger beer, and it's really tart. It's really sharp tasting. It's not wimpy at all. But at any rate, I take a glass of ginger beer, pour in a shot of amber rum. I love that rum from Cape Cod, 20 Boat amber rum.
Oh, I've never heard of it. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Mount Gay, there's one for you. Mount Gay.
Oh, I know Mount Gay and the captain.
Yeah, so throw in a shot of rum, shot and a half of rum, and a shot of lime juice. And I call it cloudy with a chance of showers. Not dark and stormy, but it's almost there.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah, but it's delightful. I mean, it's a real. Do you know that the Moscow Mule, which is enjoying a resurgence, you see kids running around with a little
copper. I have that in the. I have the copper. Somebody gave me that for a Christmas present. 2 copper mugs. Joanne Taylor.
Well, may I take you on a little historical tour?
Please.
The whole Moscow Mule is it's a feat of marketing. When the first vodkas were being brought here, I mean, besides, Russian or Polish people getting them themselves, but after World War II, Smirnoff was the first imported vodka,
Oh, yeah.
It's like vodka ordinaire.
Yeah,
but in order to promote his product, this distributor, worked with a guy at a bar in LA. And, I could bring it back to me. It was a Stars hangout. I can't think of what the place was. But as part of the marketing thing, he invented this drink. It was called the Moscow Mule. And to get people to drink it, it was ginger beer and vodka. He made these little mugs, and the stars would have their names written on them in the bar, etched on them in the bar. So it's like 1948, 49, 50, that caught on. And so and I have it somewhere here, what bar it was, but I don't
have
it.
Was it Brown Derby or one of those, or Brown Derby maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't that. I mean, that's Lana Turner or whoever, but
yeah.
Often restaurateurs are responsible for introducing, of course, foods, but also liquors. Do you know that we had the margarita got on its feet at La Fonda del Sol in New York in 1960?
No, you're kidding me. I remembered La Fonda del Sol. That was in the 50s or something, between like 6th and 5th or something like that.
La Fonda del Sol? Yeah, I can't, it's.
And so this bar.
Turned into a Victoria's Secret now,
That's. Oh, it's a Victorian. Holy mother. So the Fonda del Sol restaurant created the margarita or introduced the margarita?
Introduced the margarita. and with, I mean, introduced tequila, get people to drink tequila. I mean, it wasn't a movement thing, but the first margaritas outside of Mexico and stuff that popularized the drink here was at La Fonda del Sol. And people didn't drink tequila. My dad never drank tequila.
No.
You know,
God knows they had no idea that there was even such a thing unless they made a trip to Mexico.
Right, exactly. You know,
it was
so
always
anyway,
whiskey or rye or scotch.
It's pretty interesting to think of. I mean, I enjoy looking at, researching, reading in the newspaper, whatever. When I'm looking at cocktail recipes, the history of this stuff. Two of the typical summer coolers, the mojito.
Yes. Oh, I love a mojito.
Well, you love a mojito. Well, do you know what we have to thank the New England ice industry for the mojito? Now,
seriously,
you probably don't remember the New England ice industry, but mint and rum. When Cuba industrialized and they modernized their rum factory somewhere between 1850 and 1920, rum production took off, and the mojito was a farmer's drink. It basically was rum with mint muddled into it, and then throw in, again, the bubbly, anything you can to quench your thirst. But it was the Budweiser of Cuba, the farmer's drink.
Wow. And so then it came to America. I wonder who started the mojito? Was it Desi Arnaz or somebody?
Let's get America into the act. America sends down specifically colder climes here, New England, ice. Cuba gets ice somewhere between 1900 and 1920. Now, you can bet it's only the rich Cubans that are getting the ice. I mean, the campesinos, the people out in the field, they're not getting the ice. They're muddling it, and they're putting the rum in, and they're, they got a little thirst quencher, and it helps them get through the afternoon of cutting the sugar cane, But
unbelievable.
Which turns into rum, and then we send them ice. Oh, nice, huh?
It is. It's like the white man taking over. It's like, let's just, honest to God, really. The mojito. I love the mojito.
Hang my white head on that. All right, let's admit our privilege, okay?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, we ought to play a song dedicated. Do you remember? This is actually Peter James Francis Quinn had records that he introduced me to when I was playing all Broadway stuff, as you can imagine.
Yes.
In Barbra Streisand in 1960. So I get to this Holy Cross, and there are these boxes of records with Jim Quinn attached to them. And he has all these different, oh my God, what are you having there, Jim? Jim is having something.
Sorry, you're talking.
Okay. He has the first album by the Kingston Trio. It was called the Kingston Trio album. And it had all these folk songs. I didn't even know what folk was until I met Jim Quinn. And I probably didn't know what a guitar. I'm telling you the truth. So at any rate, I'm going to play from the Kingston Trio album, only I'm not playing the Kingston Trio. I'm playing because it's nice. And Bob Shane sings a wonderful song alone with a guitar, but I like the Lou Rawls version of this. This is from his album Anthology. This is Scotch and Soda by Lou Rawls. He gives a really upbeat kind of feel to listen to this. I think you're going to like this, Jim. Have the Scotch and Soda while it's a simple drink. It's a mixed drink.
Scotch and soda, mud in your eye. Baby, do I feel high? Oh me, oh my. Do I feel high? baby. A dry martini, a jig of gin. Oh, what a spell you've got me in. Oh, my. Do I feel high? Now, people won't believe me. They'll think I'm just bragging. But I could feel the way I do and still be on the wagon. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes, oh me, oh my. Do I feel high? Do I feel high? I said, now people won't believe me. They'll think that I'm just bragging. But I could feel the way I do and still be on the wagon. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes, oh me, oh my. Do I feel higher than a kite can fly? Oh, give me loving. Oh, baby, I feel high. But I feel good, baby. I know when I got you by my side. As good as scotch and soda, y'all now. It's mellow and groovy. Oh, that's what you do to me.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is July 7th, 2020, and counting. I'm here with Peter Coles, the kitten of my keys, and Jim Quinn, the bon in the bon, no, the bon in the bon vivant, or the vivant in the bon vivant. And listen, you guys, we were talking, before I forget it, in 2 weeks, we are going to be discussing True Grit by Charles Portis. Have you ever seen that or read this book, Jim Quinn? Charles Portis's books?
No, I haven't.
No, it's supposedly a really incredible book. It's very thin, which is also good news. This is a novel of a young girl growing up, and of course it made the great movie by the Coen brothers and the movie with John Wayne. And so we're going to watch both movies, and then we're going to read the book. And Jessica Martin and I are going to, it's one of her favorite books of all time. So if you want to read in the next 2 weeks, True Grit, we're going to be discussing it in 2 weeks on my show. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
The Coen brothers, I know the John Wayne movie, but what movie did the Coen brothers make?
They did a remake of True Grit with Jeff Bridges. Yeah, Jeff Bridges plays Rooster Cogburn in the Coen Brothers movie. So I can't remember seeing it. I do remember the old one with, what's his name? Rooster Cogburn was Dead-Eye Dick or somebody, the guy with the horse that leaned, that was drunk. That was Lee Marvin, I think, in that movie.
Yeah,
But
both he and the horse were drunk. Yes.
yeah. So Charles Portis is the novelist,
Okay.
and True Grit is the name of the book. Hey, so we were on the cocktails, Jim, and
By
I
the way,
wanted to ask.
you made you stirred up a little something when you began giving me my new sobriquet. Um, one more time.
Yes,
My
the bone of the
nickname
view. Yeah.
puts the bone in bon vivant. I
Yes.
understand my dear brother called you or sent you a little note and told you
Yeah.
what you put.
He said you put the ass in asshole.
You didn't
Can
say
I
that.
say
Yeah,
that word?
someone is reporting you to the
Bob,
FCC
why
right
did you
now.
just say that? You can't say that on the radio.
You
Oh my
can't say
God.
that. You have
Oh,
to say
for God's
put
sakes,
the
forgive
bleep
me.
in the bleep hole.
Oh my God, we're gonna put it in the bleep hole. I'm sorry.
That's it, Bob. You're suspended next week.
Yeah, really.
And I sent him a message last night. I thought he'd call me, and I wanted to talk to dear brother John. But he's among the missing right now.
Really?
But I was, he's given us a hard time. You calling me bon vivant.
Right.
I'm looking up some cocktail history yesterday, so I might sound well informed, not just hungover this morning. I did a lot. I did a lot of research last night, by the way.
Oh,
That's
love
why
it.
I'm looking a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
But Jerry Thomas, do you know this name in cocktail lore and hotel lore?
Jerry Thomas?
Jerry Thomas owned a hotel in New York, 22nd Street and Broadway, right now where it's Restoration Hardware.
Yeah, I know where that is. Sure.
Yeah, and it was 1890s. I'm sorry, edit out, back 1860s, 70s, 80s.
Right.
He wrote the first bartender's guide.
Really?
Yes, and it was titled, I wrote this down because I found this really kind of fun to know. Jerry Thomas, How to Mix Drinks, a Bon Vivant's Companion.
How do you like that?
There you go. So,
I was
we're not only
channeling that.
old, we're historical, Bob.
Really? Hey, Jim, we were talking about you were talking about.
Hey, Bob. There's a gentleman. There's a gentleman on the phone that says he knows both you two characters. Caller.
You're kidding me.
Caller, go ahead.
Jay Bowes.
Hello, who is this?
Jay Bowes.
He says his name is Jay Bowen.
Jay
Bowes.
Bowes.
Jay Bowen.
No, Jay Bowes.
Jay Bowes.
Jay Bowes, our friend Jay Bowes. Jay, how are you?
Hello.
I can't believe you're up to. I can't believe you're up this early.
I can't believe you're on the damn TV with Quinn. I didn't know it.
Really? Jim hasn't talked to Jay Bowes how many years?
I just forever, Jay. It's so nice to hear your voice, even as muffled as it is. How are you?
Jay?
Anyway,
Jay, you gotta turn down the video because it's way behind. Just listen on the phone.
Oh, there. I'll do that. All right, I'm ready.
Now just listen on the phone. It'll be a lot easier.
All right, very good. Thank you.
There we are. Hey, Jay, are you still there?
I am.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, you're a little muffled, so we are having a little trouble understanding you. You're in Oxford, am I right?
You are correct.
Yeah, and you and Barbara are there in Oxford, and we love the. I wish we could get a better connection, but I don't think we're going to be able to.
Well,
Say
let
something.
me just say, I'm very impressed that Mr. Kim still has all his hair.
Hey, he's on my show every month now. The first Tuesday of every month. So maybe you can come and be a guest and you can zoom in with us some week. How about that?
I would love that. Maybe you could get Jim because his wife told me that you guys were on.
Yeah. Well, this is sort of like talking. We now that you know that you found us, okay. We've reunited Jim with you, Jay, and your lovely wife, Barbara. We are going to invite you on in a future show, and then you can tell stories about the two of us from way back then. How's that?
I'm just sure you want that.
Yes, exactly right. Now, for
All
our
right.
listeners are just hearing you. This is how they hear you. So
Well,
unfortunately, I'm going to have to. Yeah.
I will bow out. It's good to see you guys again. Call me.
It's so great to hear your voice, even muffled as it is. We're going to work this out. I'm going to have you on our show, and we'll zoom in, and you can talk about law, and we can talk about breaking the law. How about that?
That sounds reasonable. I'll talk to you again,
Wonderful,
guys.
wonderful. Go hug your
Okay,
wife.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Bye-bye.
How do you like that? Oh, Jay Bowes, such a great voice and good guy. And you haven't talked to him in 50 some odd years, Jim, huh?
No, I have not.
It might even be 60 years.
I have a limited
Really?
outreach here.
Hey, so they're listening. What Jay and Barbara need to know, you mentioned the idea of when you're making a drink, the measurement, and you said ounce or ounce and a half. We currently call that a shot. Is that what you're saying? That
a shot, a jigger, yes, a shot.
I kind of a bartender's pour would be if you have those little pour things. You go 1, 2, 3, boom, and you just you let it go for one, fast, and then a slow take away. So it's 1, 2, 3 off.
That's very good. I mean, if you're a man that's given to precision, unlike I, who lack precision altogether, a shot is an ounce and a half. Okay, an ounce and a half in the bartender's guides is a shot. Okay.
And the interesting thing about a shot, the body can only metabolize 1 ounce of alcohol an hour. So if you want a little buzz, you take a little bit more and you put an ounce and a half and an ounce and a half, you've got your 2 ounces, and then you're on the road. You're on the road to something.
Which road would that be, Bob?
Well, it depends who you talk to. I don't know. Hey, so I asked you last night, this is really interesting, the origin of the word shot.
Yes.
It turns out that it's an Old West. In the Old West, a 45 cartridge for a 6-gun cost 12 cents. So did a glass of whiskey. So a cartridge for a gun cost 12 cents, and a glass of whiskey cost 12 cents. If the cowhand was low on cash, he would often give the bartender a cartridge in exchange for a drink. This became a shot of whiskey. How do you like that?
Wow. What's your source?
Oh God, some drunken guy in Philadelphia.
It's all right. I mean, is it Wikipedia?
Wikipedia.
Okay.
No, it's True West Magazine. True West Magazine.
Sam
They're
Shepard?
taking claim for that. Can you come up with anything else? I mean, it sounds pretty good, right? Yeah. Tell us, last night you made a shrub. You made a strawberry shrub. What's a shrub?
We are awash in berries here. This is my berry buckle that I made last night. So I'm having it for breakfast. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries.
Oh my
Since
gosh.
I saw you last, Michael and I have been strawberry picking. So we are awash berries. And it occurred to me, why not
add some alcohol to a berry, right?
Yeah, let's enough of these wonderful strawberry rhubarb pies. I made a trifle with rhubarb compote and berries and blackberries and little which is blackberry liqueur. But a shrub, much like the mojito, a shrub is a couple of centuries old anyway. It was a farmer's drink here in New England. And, not just New England, all around the country here, that got its start when, to preserve the berries, they didn't freeze them, can't pop them in the freezer and make a pie out of them next week. They added vinegar, and it would ferment the berries just a little bit.
Really?
So of vinegar and fruit. No, you getting the feel here too?
Yes.
You got the
Yeah.
sweet.
Sour into sweet.
Yeah, and the tart, the vinegary stuff. So what they did for a pick me up while working on a hot summer day,
Right.
they would take the fruit, let's say strawberries, like I had in the jar. I put some balsamic vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is the best to use if you want to macerate your fruit. I'll macerate your fruit for you, Bob. But
macerate is one of those words you can
vinegar.
go anyway with. I'm not going there because I'm going to get yelled at by our Peter Coles, my producer here. Yes.
Yes, there's people reporting us to the FCC right now.
That's
a
really
couple
true.
of shots of vinegar in with, let's say a pint of strawberries or a pint of raspberries or stuff.
Right.
And you let them sit overnight. Overnight is long enough. You could do it longer, and then what they did in the 18th century was they strained out the pulp of the berries and stuff, and then added whatever their bubbly was, seltzer water, plain water, whatever the thing was, and ice. And there you had it replenished the sweat, the vinegar, and only later did we then, some smart farmer said, hey, that might be good with a little bourbon in it. That might be good with a little rum in it. And that's when the shrub cocktail took off.
So what did you have your shrub with last night?
Well, I was experimenting. So I had the first one with brandy.
That sounds good.
A shot of big, ounce and a half of brandy to my strawberries. I put in just a half a shot of Grand Marnier because, what the hell? There it was sitting on and strawberries, orange strawberry sounded good. And then I did something a little bit different. I just didn't squish the pulp out. I put the whole strawberries with the vinegar in my shaker with the ice and the brandy and shook.
Yeah.
And then strained so that I got them real juicy and real vinegary.
Oh, this sounds great.
Poured it in a big glass with ice cubes. And there you go. Just a little seltzer on the top. I put a little, one of those silly pink sodas.
So you said but you said brandy, and then what was the other? Yeah, it was your first one. Then your third one was
then
what?
I did rum. I made the same drink out of rum.
I see. Which would you prefer?
I like them both a lot. I'm partial to brandy, and I'm doing a brandy kind of trip this summer. I'm making drinks not only with brandy but Calvados, apple brandy.
I love that. Yeah, from France.
I've my niece Sarah and her husband Joe gave me a bottle of Pisco a long time ago, and I haven't used it. Do you know Pisco?
No.
Pisco, Pisco.
Yeah, what is it?
It's the brandy of Peru, from Peru.
Oh wow, there's another one that we don't know. Hey,
we know it.
Pisco
sours
Jim,
are
you won't believe this.
Another interesting South American drink.
Yeah.
Now, shrub. Going into my pedantic mode here.
Yeah.
I learned last night, just like you did for shot, that shrub comes from the Arabic word sarab, which means to drink.
There you have it.
So
I thought it was something I put around my shoulders. Doesn't it sound like a senior citizen something? I'm going to would you get my shrub, please? It does. It sounds like something I might ask for. But in the summertime now, I'm going to make a shrub. We're going to make shrubs.
Are we out of time? But I was just going to say that I think I mentioned this to you. The way the shrub got going was in the rum smugglers out of England. They get the rum from, the countries, the islands there they had colonized, and they'd get the rum, and smugglers would be shipping it out so that the owners didn't know. And in order to hide it, so when they went into port. They didn't have to pay customs or whatever.
Yeah.
They dropped the barrels of rum in the sea. But first of all, they'd add citrus and some spices to disguise the
To
taste
disguise
and the
this,
smell of it.
and then they begin to drink it, and then that's the
And
beginning.
then, hey, this tastes not bad.
Yeah. And then the devil comes down to Georgia, and we all like Flint. Yeah, it's exactly right. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bob.
We've wasted a perfectly good hour of our lives together. How wonderful it's been. Next month, we're going to talk about the perfect party and how to have one safely and with a lot of these drinks and stuff.
I know about having them safely. I'm reading Melissa Clark's barbecue, social distancing barbecue in the New York Times section this week. And it sounds very dilettantish for us to be talking about cocktails, but even for a party of 4 or 6, they're wonderful. But I would like to talk next time.
We'll talk partying next time, which is a month from now. Meanwhile, we'll be talking, Jim. I'm going to play Charlie Daniels. The devil went down to Georgia. He's a great fiddle player who died yesterday at 83.
They're all dying.
Oh my God! Let's keep us alive, will you? Order me a shrub while you're at it. Talk to you soon, everybody. Hey, thank you, Peter. Get out there and volunteer and make a donation to some charity. That's all I'm going to say. All right? And here's The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I'm on the other side with Kenny Cole.
Down to Georgia, he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul because I think I'm better than you." The boy said, "My name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet and you're gonna regret, cause I'm the best as ever been. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, cause hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil gets your soul." Opened up his case and he said, "I'll start this show," and fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. And he pulled the bow across the strings and it made an evil hiss. And then a band of demons joined in and it sounded something like this. When the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done. Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny, does your dog bite? No child knows." The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, "Devil, just come on back if you ever want to try again. I done told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best as ever been." He played, "Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. The chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny, will your dog bite? No child knows."